What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today for another BFR. So yesterday was Game 62 in Minnesota against the Minnesota Wild. On March 19th at 1 p.m. they had faced off. Murphy was on LTIR prior to the game. This was Pat Foley, Blackhawks announcers for about 40 years now, final road game. Radish and Kachuk came over from Tampa in the Hagel trade. They both started for the Hawks tonight. And Alex Vlasic, who was the Hawks' second-round pick of either last year or the year before that, and he had his debut with the Blackhawks today. And the Hawks had 11 forwards and 7 defensemen dressed, with Borgstrom was out, and the Hawks lose 3-1. Their record goes to 22-31-9. They get outshot 34-22. They had no business of being in this game. Lankinen was incredible. Hits for 26-15 Chicago. Faceoffs for 35-21 Chicago. On the power play, Chicago 0 for 2, Minnesota 0 for 3. Lankinen saves 31 out of 33. Talbot saves 21 out of 22. And we start. There wasn't very much it wasn't an incredible amount of things that went on in this game. Bunch of penalties, but not really many goals until later on in the game. Hawks 2-on-1 was broken up by Brodin. Brodin had an excellent game defensively. 16-20 Minnesota penalty to Greenway for tripping, which would be killed. The power play did look good. There were a lot of block shots on both sides this game. Radish had a good deflection that was saved, so good look for Taylor Radish early. The blue line camera got destroyed on Lafferty. Hit someone, and then the thing just came down and right on the fans. They were able to catch it before it hit anyone, but it was dangling from the thing. It was really weird. Eriksson had a breakaway saved while 4-on-4 because at 13 minutes there was a Minnesota penalty to Hartman for tripping and a Chicago penalty to Kane for interference, so they got incidental penalties on that, so it's 4-on-4. It was a pretty physical game to start off. DeBrincat breakaway defended well by Brodin again. At Whistle had a chance that was denied. Minnesota's Kaprizov line was running rings around the Blackhawks late in the first period, and that led at 3:24. A Minnesota goal to Frederick Gaudreau, his 9th of the season, from Fiala and Merrill to make it 1-0. And at 2:48, it's a Chicago penalty to Dahan for hooking. I think it was Dahan for some reason. I forgot to write the name. Kaprizov narrowly misses, and in the second, they put Radish, Strome, and DeBrincat together. They all play together for the Erie Otters and Junior. They all play together on a line. So seeing if that would work, I suggested that during the Hagel trade video. So I'm happy to see they're following my suggestions, of course, that weren't obvious. Both teams were upset about an offsides call. Eriksson rammed Stillman after a play that caused a scrum. Lankinen was making some excellent saves, made another good save on a wraparound. 7-19 Minnesota penalty to Fiala for high sticking, which was killed, but it was completely accidental. He came up, he lost the puck, he tried to get it, he didn't know Kane was right there, came up and hit him, Kane went down. It was a pretty, hard high stick. Fiala had no reason. He went over, apologized to Kane immediately. So good sportsmanship from Fiala. Kane to Doc, amazing save Talbot. Greenway was stabbing Lankinen with his stick, and that caused another scrum. Carpenter and Kaprizov then started a scrum. A very scrummy game. Then at 4:53, it's a Chicago penalty to Carpenter for tripping. That would be killed. I didn't write that it would be killed, but I will write that right now. And then there was a 2-on-1, Doc to Kubalik, another robbery for Talbot as Kubalik's frustrations continue to grow. He scored 1 goal in the past 18 games. And he's getting plenty of chances, and none of them just go in. It's like the world is against Kubalik at all times, and he's only got 11 goals on the year from his rookie season where he had 33, I think. There was a reason he was a Calder finalist that year. But that, of course, that was the year Makar and Quinn Hughes existed, so yeah. Then DeBrincat to Carpenter was denied as Carpenter came out of the box. Lankinen, at the start of the third, made more great saves and is making countless saves. Then Kachuk had a breakaway that was saved, and that he was slashed on the thing. He got the shot up, but he was slashed and there was no call. So that should have been a penalty shot for Kachuk. Kachuk had a good debut. So did Radish. Kachuk had the breakaway. He was making some defensive plays. Radish helping on the offensive side. He was on the power play. So seeing what they could do is a good start. I hope they both score a goal by the end of the year. Radish should definitely, if he's playing on the top 2 lines. Lankinen had a collision with, I forgot who it was that causes his mask to come off. Zuccarello breakaway was saved. Then at 11:03, it's a Chicago goal to Seth Jones, his 4th of the season from Strome and Kane, which was an absolute snipe to make it 1-1. And then at 7:07, Chicago penalty to DeHaan for holding. So I don't think that previous penalty was DeHaan. I'll have to go back and look at that. So DeHaan gets a holding penalty there. It was an awful call, but it was killed. Kaprizov had a breakaway that was saved. Lankinen standing on his head. 3-on-2s for both teams are stopped. And then Hawks had so many turnovers, and one of them at 3:13 leads to a Minnesota goal for Ryan Hartman as 25th of the season from Kaprizov and Zuccarello to make it 2-1. It was a 2-on-0 with Kaprizov. No chance for Lankinen. The Hawks left him wide open. And Kaprizov was in the center. Hartman was on the side, right over to Hartman. No chance for Lankinen. If he saved that, that might have been the save of the year. The Hawks pulled goalie at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The Hawks couldn't get out of the zone until 1:40. And at 06.1 seconds, so 6 seconds left, Minnesota empty net goal to Jordan Greenway, 7th of the season from Merrill. And that makes it 3-1. Minnesota wins, game over. No changes in the standings. You can pretty much count. I might as well start moving teams that are definitely out. So Seattle, San Jose, Arizona, Chicago, pretty sure Winnipeg, Montreal, Ottawa, Buffalo, Detroit, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Islanders, Columbus. This is essentially what the playoff race is now. I'm just going to keep it here. I'm even going to drop Anaheim because they're proved they're sellers at the deadline. They already gave away... Sorry about that. So yeah, Anaheim... I already gave away Delorier, already gave away Lindholm. Lindholm just signed an 8-year extension in Boston, so that's going to be interesting to see what Boston fans think about that. So the East is already predetermined. Philadelphia, New Jersey, Islanders, Columbus are out. Montreal, Ottawa, Buffalo, Detroit are out. Then in the West, Chicago, Arizona, and Winnipeg in the Central. Seattle, San Jose, Anaheim in the Pacific. So that leaves 10 teams in the West, and only 2 of those teams are going to get spots. Who do I think is going to get those spots, to be honest? I'm just going to move them right here for now. Dallas and Vancouver. Dallas has lost a few games in a row now, and Vancouver has lost also a few games in a row now, while Vegas is starting to get better with Logan Thompson giving the net minding they need. And Nashville's been playing well. They have a good win against Toronto yesterday. Minnesota's been starting to heat up. St. Louis has been on the downward trend, but I think they're fine. Colorado fine. Calgary fine. LA and Edmonton. Edmonton's been won, I think, 5-6 in a row now. And Vegas is barely holding on, but they have won 2 in a row now. So yeah, that's really all I have for you guys today. Hawks play their final game before the deadline against Winnipeg tonight at 6 p.m. Central. So BFR tomorrow on that, and then that'll probably be my last video on, besides the trade deadline, if any big trades happen. So that'll be my last video before I go on vacation, in which there'll be 4 games where I'll have BFRs going up late, as I will not be home. I will be in the sweet warmness of Florida. So, of course, when I want to go to a game there, both Tampa and Florida each have 4 games during 8 games that are Florida team while I'm there. Of course, none of them are in Florida. All of them are away. So that's just typically my luck. Just like when I was in Vegas last year during the playoffs, and Vegas was in Montreal during the 3 days I was there. So that was just my luck there again. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys today. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.